What are a few places you had visited in Mexico City?
Are you serious? There's so many places to visit in Mexico City, no?
Many places. Yeah, I think so because it's a big city and well, it's the city of museums here in Mexico City. Do you know how many museums are in Mexico City?
I think we've talked about this and did like a little research to be more knowledgeable about this, but there's more than just in Mexico City itself. There's more than 150 museums inside of Mexico City.
Yeah, I think you are correct, my friend. But l- let's begin this podcast. But I need you that you use more energy because the other time you were so quiet. I don't know. You were sleepy.
I know. I was kind of disappointed in myself when I listened to our first episode. I'm like, no, this can't be that I was actually talking like this, man. Like, who is this man? But no, we'll be okay this time. It will be a better introduction. All right, we'll jump right into this now.
Yes.
Bringing you under the sombrero from the eyes of an American and a Mexican, sharing a fresh perspective of Mexico.
Yeah. Let's talk about this, my friends.
Tell me, what do you know? One of the first places, kind of like on our list that we would like to talk about is El Castillo de Chapultepec, in English known as Chapultepec Castle. No.
Yes. Castillo de Chapultepec, Chapultepec Castle is in some part in Mexico City in Chapultepec Park,
Mm-hmm,
Bosque Chapultepec,
mm-hmm.
which I think is bigger or is the double size of Central Park.
Really?
It's really big. Yeah,
Okay.
there are many museums in that place, and if you want to go to some of them,
Mm-hmm,
you need many days to go around and visit those places.
mm-hmm. Kind of to like take in and soak in the experience to really understand like the culture and the history of everything. It's kind of hard for me to compare, like you're saying, because I've never been to Central Park. I've only been to El Castillo de Chapultepec. Have you visited? How many times? What was it like?
Yes, I've been in that place many times
Mhm,
because, as I said before, there are some museums, and so Castillo de Chapultepec is, well, it's a castle, but
mhm.
it was a military academy, it was a presidential home, also a royal residence, and now it has the National Museum of History. And I've been there, I don't know, more than 10 times.
Do you think the average person goes there that many times, or is that like more than average, or how do you feel? Is that just somewhere you like enjoy going a lot because of like the view and everything?
I would say, based on my experiences and my friends' experiences, it's not so crazy to go 10 times, but some people they used to go at that place just for fun, go
Hmm.
to the park and hang out with friends, and some people they don't they usually go to museums. So
Okay. I can remember from when I went to Castillo de Chapultepec, like I'm sure you remember, like you can either I was seeing this online, but I walked it the one time I went to, like all the way uphill to Castillo de Chapultepec. It's very elevated, this place. I can't remember how many feet or meters it's elevated, the road slash like path you have to take to walk up, but it's pretty high up and it's definitely good exercise getting up there, no?
yes, a good exercise. Yeah, I think there is a like a bus or a train
Mm.
for elder elder people,
So
but
you've taken it.
yes, because I'm 84 years old.
Man, you sound great in your voice for 84, eh?
Yeah, that's my secret. I have a secret to keep this voice, but I'm really old.
What's the secret?
Drinking a lot of water.
Good secret. I think we could all benefit from something like that. And to talk about a little bit more about the castle, like what things can you actually see from El Castillo de Chapultepec? Because like I can remember when I was up there, you can see like El Bosque de Chapultepec, which is the Chapultepec forest. It's weird translating some of these sometimes. And then what else can you see? I'll let you kind of get into this a little bit.
Mexico City.
Uh-huh, when you're on top. Mm-hmm. And
Well, I think the location of the castle has been a site of special significance for a long time.
mm-hmm,
And Reforma Avenue or Paseo de la Reforma, that's the name in Spanish.
mm-hmm,
And this is a famous avenue here in Mexico City.
mm-hmm,
And you can see El Ángel de la Independencia,
mm-hmm,
an iconic structure, figure, an iconic. I don't know. You can see many places in a when it's isn't foggy the city. You can see all the city from that point of the Castillo de Chapultepec.
mm-hmm. It's definitely an amazing view, like you're saying, like you can see the skyline, you can see El Ángel de Independencia, you can see Bosque de Chapultepec, you can see El Paseo de Reforma or Reforma Avenue, and in English, it's something like I don't know. Once you're up there and have like the experience, it's just kind of like one of those things you just need to take in instead of like taking lots of pictures or trying to get the perfect picture like we're trying to do nowadays, but just to like enjoy the experience.
Yeah. And so, how many pictures of yourself did you take when you was there?
We're
When you were there,
uh-huh.
you have
No,
that problem.
it happens to the best of us, brother. Happens to the best of us. I probably have, I don't know, of myself, maybe like five or six. We'll probably put it up on the Instagram or social media to share. Maybe you could share a few photos to give like our listeners like a feel of kind of like what this view is like because I think it's I don't know, it was one of my favorite places to visit, honestly, just based off of like we didn't even talk about the architecture of the building. The architecture of the building is incredible, the way it's built and everything. So I don't know, it's a special place and
But
mhm,
now that we're talking about that part of Mexico City, Chapultepec,
mhm,
there is another place, another museum over there that is called el Museo Nacional de Antropología.
mhm.
Did you go there? Did you have the opportunity to go to that museum?
I actually did, and this was all that happened in like the summer of 2019 when I went to Mexico City for the first time. I went to all these places that we're gonna talk about besides El Templo Mayor. Unfortunately, I don't believe I visited that, and it is a shame. But to talk about this museum, I have visited.
I think is the biggest and most popular
Mhm.
museum in all Mexico. Museo Nacional de Antropología.
So just to talk about this place a little bit, as we were talking before, like when you kind of like go into the museum, like you can see like it's kind of like there's water falling from from the ceiling kind of thing. It's like an interesting structure and like architecture they have at this, no?
Yes, yeah, I think that's something really interesting of that museum. I can remember when I was young and the first time, well, when I was little, the first time when I went to that museum and I was amazed that structure because I could see it's in Spanish is like an umbrella.
Okay, okay.
And so,
An umbrella that doesn't keep the rain out.
yeah, it's weird, but
It has holes in it.
yes, I can remember that, and that museum has many exhibition rooms.
Mhm,
Some of them are permanent, and some are temporary exhibitions.
mhm,
And it covers. It's really big. That museum.
mhm.
You can see that museum just in one day. You need more than one day to see all the museum. But I remember when I was young and I went there and I was taking notes because my professors
Mm.
they they let me some workshop. No,
Some like homework, or
yes, homework.
you had to write like an essay or something, or
Yeah, because this
not typical.
they they said, yeah, you have to go to that museum and take some notes and let's talk about after going to that place about the Aztec culture
Mhm,
because there are many artifacts of this civilization. So I
mhm,
was writing down, try to remember. And now it's different because we have internet, we have YouTube, and I think some kids they don't go to those places. But when I was little, it was different. I was really happy going to those places with my mom, my father, and my sister and brother.
I can imagine those are good memories and everything that you have, because I, like you said, I feel like we're losing some of these memories now because we're becoming so technologically advanced that, like you said, you can just, if you want, you can take a virtual tour online or find information. But to me, it's still not the same. Like going in person somewhere is always going to be a better experience and everything. And I'm curious, just to tease you a little bit, how did that essay go that you had to write about it? Do you remember?
No, no, I don't remember.
It must have not been bad or good. It was just okay, not too memorable.
No, but I think this museum is an education in itself.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can go and see many things, and I think in the future we can go deeper. There are many rooms or many things to see, and we can talk about in another way about this.
Hmm. I think that's the way to go, honestly, because it's the same thing with Castillo de Chapultepec and everything around that place. There's just so much history and everything to try to like cover like all that information inside one episode. It's just gonna be like too heavy for everybody. It's just gonna be like, why am I receiving a history lesson right now? I didn't come to this podcast for just a pure history lesson. But I agree with you. We can definitely talk about this more in the future.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but let me ask you one because you said or I know that you were here in Mexico City,
No, not
and
true.
and where did you go? Another museum, or do you remember another place?
Another one that I went to was in a very like fancy part of town, you could say.
Polanco?
Yes,
Are
sir.
you talking about that place?
I am talking about that
No,
place.
you are a rich man.
No, no, no.
No.
No, but for like a museo Sumaija is what it's called. It's basically a modern art gallery that has some interesting history around it, no?
Yeah, that museum is so. I think it's new. That museum, we can say that it's new
Hmm.
in comparison with Castillo de Chapultepec or Museo Nacional de Antropología. But so you went there.
Yeah,
What can you recall?
I can recall when I went there, it was actually in June of 2019, I believe. And at the time, they have like from month to month or every couple of months, they have like temporary galleries where, let's say in this case, there was actually Jeff Koons and Marcel Duchamp that were the artists or the people that they had on display in the gallery.
Gallery.
Mhm.
So those guys, where are they from? Those guys, do you know?
Man, you're putting me on the spot. I didn't research where they're from or anything. I don't know. Do you know? Because
No,
I don't know.
I don't know either. But
Maybe.
because the name, I think there are no Mexicans.
Hmm. Yeah, Jeff Koons kind of sounds like American or something, and then Marcel Duchamp. I don't know where
Maybe
that.
French.
Maybe French. I was kind of thinking the same thing, like Duchamp.
Duchamp.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say that museum has a fantastic private collection.
Hmm.
You can see so many artifacts, and also the structure of that museum is so interesting, really, really interesting.
It's literally like modern art in itself. It's hard to even describe. It's like a an oddly shaped like cylinder that has like it's kind of like curved and everything. It's something you need to see to like be able to describe it better because it's like a silver platinumish color. And it's
Yeah,
just one of those things that I don't know, even if you've only seen it once, it kind of just sticks in your memory because there's really nothing really like it that I can think of.
yeah. The outside is like, as you said, a big, impressive wave. I don't know how to describe that.
It is very difficult to describe.
And how many pictures of yourself did you take there? Because
Why of
you
myself? Why why
because
not of the gallery?
because before you said no, you have to take many pictures, and I was imagining when you said that some selfies. You were trying to find the best point of view, the best perspective of yourself. Because when I went there, I could see many people trying to take selfies,
Mhm.
and they didn't seem happy with that picture. So they were taking one, two, three, four, five. I don't know how many.
Are you sure that wasn't you taking those pictures or seems like you got issues over there with these people.
You
No, I'm
got
just
me.
no, I'm just joking. It was something that I mentioned earlier that I see other people do is like they try to take like a lot of pictures to get that perfect one instead of like just enjoying it. But I have more pictures of like the gallery than of myself. Like if you can imagine like let's say like when you were a kid, you played with Play-Doh, right?
Yes, with that.
Picture like something that you created when you were like 6, 7 years old, and you had like different colors of Play-Doh, and then you decide like, yeah, what can I do with like these different colors? I'm just gonna put them all together, and then it's gonna be art. And basically, it was it was something like this that was in display. It was just like a bunch of random colors of different Play-Dohs.
Different Play-Dohs.
Uh-huh. Pretty much, honestly. I don't know if you've seen a picture of it. I could
Yeah,
even
sorry. Yes, I've seen some pictures of that that exhibition. I didn't have the opportunity to go at that time, but I saw some pictures.
Mhm. It was an interesting experience. It was basically the highlights were like the Play-Doh, the pictures of different sports, athletes like of basketball, and then the other one that was interesting, there was like oh man, I don't even know how to describe this. I'm gonna lose the words. You know when there's like a clown or something that inflates like a balloon and then turns it into something like a shape or like a dog or something? It's
Okay,
like a inflated thing. Man, I can't even think of the name.
come on, man, you can
I
do it.
I don't know the name, but like we're gonna have to put this on our Instagram or something to show this because I can't. The name is not common to say. Like something inflatable. It's
Okay,
kinda like a balloon, but not a balloon. It's like a twisted balloon that's made
okay,
into a shape.
okay. Yeah, we can do that because you have some pictures when you went there, and yeah, where listeners they can see that. It's a good idea.
Mhm. No, I definitely think it's a good idea, and I you told me you had, like, a random fact about a Museo Suzum I can't say it! Oh, a
Sumaya.
Museo Sumaija, thank you. What was that? Who's the owner and, like, what is that all about?
The owner is a Mexican guy. I think
Mhm,
it's he's the richest Mexican. His name is Carlos Slim,
mhm.
and he built this museum in honor of his wife. That's why it has that name, Somaya, because Somaya was she was his wife.
Okay, that's interesting to hear that he was like competing with like Bill Gates for the richest man in the world and everything some years ago. It's I've never actually heard of the name. It's new for me to hear about this man.
Yes, he's really famous here in Mexico City. Or well, here in Mexico, and I think in some places around the world,
Mm.
because he was the richest man in the world, maybe 15 or 10 years ago.
That's new information for me and something that I didn't catch on to, or I didn't even know about this man existed, to be honest. So another place that we both have visited. Let's talk about El Monumento a la Revolucion, which is also known as the Revolution. I'm using my Spanish sounds. Revolution Monument in English.
Yeah, Monumento La Revolucion.
What
It
is that?
sounds better in Spanish,
It
right?
does. It does sound better in Spanish. I think some things that are kept in Spanish, like as we mentioned before, El Castillo de Chapultepec versus Chapultepec Castle. Eh, nah.
Before talking about Monumento La Revolucion, do you know what Chapultepec means?
No, I don't know what Chapultepec means. What does it actually mean? Is it like another form of dialect of Spanish or
Yes, it comes from the Aztec language and it means Grasshopper Hill.
Grasshopper Hill?
That means
Oh, Hill?
hill.
Okay. Grasshopper Hill. Okay. That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. And just for a fun fact, how do you say grasshopper in Spanish?
Chapulín.
Okay, okay.
that that's why you can listen that Chapultepec
Ah,
in
okay.
Chapulín. Hill is cerro. That means Tepel,
Okay.
cerro, Chapultepec, el cerro del Chapulín.
That's interesting. I would have that's something that's some interesting history there to say the least. And it's true that Mexicans eat grasshoppers, no?
That's true, my friend.
Do you enjoy them or
Yes,
really?
yes,
Okay.
I do.
How what's the flavor like? What is it like eating some grasshoppers?
I can't describe that.
No?
I can't do that because it's really difficult to try to explain the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I can send you some grasshoppers and you can describe or you can say, ah, that's the flavor.
Okay, okay.
But I
Well,
think
uh-huh.
there are sorry, but I think they have a little bit of strong flavor. I don't know, but this I enjoy eating them.
It's one of those things that are quite unique, I guess, and you need to try to know what they're actually like. And going back to El Monumento a la Revolucion, finally. So what? So can you tell me little bit about this?
Man, you want me to talk a lot, but well,
No, no,
this
no.
no.
If you want, you can just stay quiet the whole time. You don't have to talk.
uh, I prefer say nothing.
Oh man. No, no, I'm just teasing you. You're good.
It's a landmark and monument which celebrates the Mexican Revolution. It
Mhm,
initially it wasn't designed for a monument. It the idea was planned as the federal legislative palace during
mhm,
the time of a Mexican president Porfirio Diaz.
mhm,
Then started the revolution, and as the time passed, it was created. Now this monument, it has a museum over there.
mhm. Okay. I think this place is pretty uniquely designed and it's quite unique in itself. It's I can't remember if it is or it's the closest, but I'm pretty sure it might be what they consider a triumphal arc. Is one of the largest triumphal arcs. Like at the height it stands, it's one of the largest. And the design of the museum is so unique as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what to say here.
No, you're good. You're good. What is some like experiences been like for you? Can you tell me like what's it like inside when you actually go inside El Monumento a la Revolucion?
I've been there twice or three times. I can't remember clearly. What I remember is that it has many artifacts about the Mexican Revolution, and you can see some pictures of the those guys or those people who were in that part of the Mexican history. And I was happy because I was gathering information. I was knowing about something that me or I, as a Mexican, I need to know. But sometimes when you go there, you can see a different perspective and you can think, oh, maybe I knew something, but now it's different because I was.
Hmm.
But it's really interesting. It's really important going to museums. I didn't have all the information, and so I can talk about in a deep way because of the time, but
Hmm.
it's really interesting. It's really important going to museums.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think your perspective and everything changes once you actually get there and experience everything. Without actually experiencing it, it's harder to know. Obviously, you can do research on online, but it's different when you actually go and like for what I can remember is just about like the design of it. You can take stairs that kind of go in like a carousel that's kind of windy going up, and it's pretty good exercise. It's worth the walk, or if you don't want to, you can just take an elevator instead. I walked. You can't make fun of me. So you can see again, you can see a good view of the city. And in what plaza is El Monumento a la Revolucion located in?
The plaza is called La Plaza de la República. It's really in downtown. It's really close to
El
Zocalo
Angel,
Square,
no?
to
Okay.
El Ángel de la
Okay.
Independencia. Yes, that's another part in Mexico City. It's really close to those places. I think we don't have time to talk about another museum that is Museo Templo Mayor, which is in the very heart of Mexico City, just a few meters from the Zocalo Square. But we can talk about that later in
Hmm.
another episode.
Yeah, we can definitely touch on that because I think that that's an important thing to mention, and even to what you mentioned about the Zocalo, I think that will be important to mention in the future because there's a lot of important things that happen in that square.
Yes, I think we need more time, but I know I'm positive that in future in future episodes we'll we'll talk about them.
You really think we're gonna have future episodes?
Hope so. That's the idea.
I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. We can do it. We believe in ourselves, and we're here and we're doing it. We're doing it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any parting words? Anything you'd like to say? You want to say hi to your mother or
Hello, mom, dad,
perfect.
and friends. And,
Perfect.
and sorry for all my friends that I didn't mention in the first episode, but they know that I love them.
Me too, me too. Same can be said for me. I think we were just a little too nervous and in the first episode starting something new and we just kind of like oh like just like deer in the headlights like what is happening? Like I wanted to say so many more things, but all good, all good. It's taken care of now. But I think we'll see all of our listeners and I'll see you in the next episode.
Okay, yes, I think it's time to say goodbye.
That's it today for Under the Sombrero with Andrew and
Semein
from Mexico.
from Mexico,
You can't leave that part out.
from Mexico City.
Okay, goodbye for now, everyone.
Bye.